There was a new module that popped up, I think about a month ago, that it's called gift card reward. And what it does is it allows you to build a gift card library. So you would put all your gift card information into that project, and then you would link it to another project that you were going to be using to dole out gift cards. So anytime somebody completes, recruitment or anything like that, you could go in and set up some branching logic to say that they earned the gift card, and then you can have it automatically pull a gift card from the repository from the other library and assign it to that person. You could have it send out an email to that person and generates a notification with a link for them to click on, and it'll keep track of your gift cards in your project. And it's kind of, it has a lot of cool features. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it's kind of complicated to set up, and getting started, the documentation is not that great. So I'll try to explain how I did this. So first thing is, if you go to your external modules, the documentation will walk you through everything. And the documentation is written pretty well. It's just getting it set up is the problem, because it makes it seem like this is really all you need. And because when I built it, when I tested it out first, I just took this and built these fields out the way they looked. And it wasn't, it kept saying that it didn't have any gift cards in there. And so what I did was I just went to Google and I typed REDCap gift card survey, because usually what happens is these people that build the external modules, they usually build them in GitHub, and a lot of the modules will have like this standard documentation like this, but then they'll have a link to GitHub with more information. And so I found this one here. This is the module. And what really helped me was going into the docs folder here and finding the gift card library CSV. So this is the CSV to build your project to keep track of your gift cards. And you can see here that so this is the information. It has a little more information than what's in the documentation. So for like, electronic card use and that kind of stuff. You could either just copy all this and paste it into a CSV, but if you click raw, it'll give you this, and you just right click in the window and say save as, and it'll let you save it as a CSV. And so then this is the CSV from that file. And then what you do is you just build your project. So I'm not going to build it, but I'll show you. So if we just go to, let me open this in a new tab. If I just go to a new project and I want to build a project off that CSV, you would build your project, you just have a blank project, and then in your dictionary, I guess I didn't need to open a new tab. You would go to the dictionary and you would just select the CSV from that, wherever you saved it. So it would be the gift card library, and then you would upload the file and it builds out the project. So this is the gift card library from that CSV. And one of the first, you have to make sure that this, the REDCap ID, which is just normally the first ID field, you have to rename it. And you don't have to do this if you build it from the CSV, but you just have to make sure it's built this way. It uses a reward ID as the identifier. And when you enter your gift cards, so let me go to here, and I just have one gift card that I've entered. You would put you'd have the brand, and this could be a drop down. So like if you have different gift cards at different values, same thing with the amount, you could have You could just hand type it in, or you could have a drop down, but it would just need to be numbers only. And then the important thing here is to set your status to not ready until you're ready to use it. Because what that does is, in your other project that you set up that links to this one, if somebody triggers the gift card reward, if it finds if there's any gift cards that are ready and they trigger it, then it'll automatically generate that. But if you set them as not ready, then nothing will happen. So you only want to set it to ready when you're ready to disperse gift cards. So and then this is all the information that comes back when the gift card is used or claimed, essentially. So let me walk you through this. Let me just add a new record. And I'm just going to say it's Amazon, and then we'll say not ready, and then the reward email address. I'm not sure exactly what this email address is for because you've set the email address in the other project, but let me just fill this in. And I don't know if this is like this is because you don't set the email address in here because you're not assigning any reward to a particular participant. So you wouldn't pull in their email address from here. Let's go ahead and save this. Now, I have it set as not ready. Now, what you would have to do is all of the heavy lifting is done in your other project, the project that you're going to be using to track or using to, whatever your project is, where all your data is going to be. That's where you have to set up the branching logic to use the gift card demo. So you would go to manage and then gift card reward. First thing you need to do is you have to pull in this project ID. So that way it knows this is the project that's containing all the gift cards. If you have longitudinal, so let's say you had a clinical trial where people are getting multiple gift cards as they finish, baseline 6 months, 12 months, then you would put in your longitudinal event ID so that way it tracks, because you can track multiple events and multiple gift card disbursement through this. This is the alert email that lets you know that a gift card's been sent out. This is kind of nice because you can set up, you'll get emails for like your daily gift card summary, so you can see how many gift cards have been used, how many gift cards you have left, all this kind of stuff. Same thing with the CC email. So if you have other people that need to be on it, and then you can do different styling for the reward pages. We're not going to get into that. And then you have the reward setting. So you would have a title. I just have here's your gift card. But you could have anything like, like this says baseline complete. So if people would see this and go, oh, okay, or, you've enrolled, or you could put your project or your clinical trial name here so people can see it. Then you have your reward ID, event ID, and I just have the one. But if you had, so if you had a longitudinal study and you were setting up multiple rewards, you would be doing all of this for each one. And you can see here, it's a lot of stuff you can do to set up for an event. And then for a new event, you would just click the plus and you would set it up for the next event. So if I had a baseline, I'd fill this out, I'd click the plus, and I would add like a 6-month and then a 12-month. And then the next thing here is your reward logic. And just for the sake of this demo, I have a checkbox that just says that they're eligible for reward. And if I click it, then they're eligible. So you could have complex branching logic, like if there's certain things that have to be true. Or you could just set a field like this where the coordinator can come in that, a field that only they can see, and they just say, yeah, this person meets all the criteria, and make it easy, and you just check the box. And then this is where that reward ID comes in, because you want to specify the reward ID for the card that's being assigned. And then the reward status, you're saying, so you're basically saying there's a field in this project called reward ID that's going to be updated with the value of the card reward ID when it's assigned. And then the same thing with the status. And then you have a URL field here, and the reward amount. So you could specify, for example, if I had a database of gift cards that had $25, $50, $75, $100, if I don't specify an amount, this module is just gonna take the next card and assign it. But if I only want $25 to be for the baseline and 50 for 6 months and 75 for 12 months and so on, when I'm setting up the baseline one, I would want to specify only find $25 cards. So give me the next $25 card and assign that. Same thing with brand. You could have a card like, so if you have, somebody, if you give yourself or your users an option, like they want a Target card or an Amazon card or just a Visa card, if you give them that option and you build out those cards in the library, you can have them specify, or you could specify like, okay, we're gonna give them a Target card this time or a Visa card this time or whatever. So you would put that in the brand field in this project. Then you can inhibit emails. So when this is checked, the gift card processing will take place to reserve a gift card for the record, but the gift card link will not be sent out in email. So you can do these if you don't know the email address and then want to just send a URL to the gift card participant. And then you have an email address. So this would essentially be where the email is being sent to. And this is what you would use for like survey. It's the same sort of thing when you do surveys in REDCap. You designate an email field so that REDCap automatically knows who to send it to. And then you would set up your from email, and then you could do batch processing. So instead of having it trigger every time you check a box and say if this person is eligible, you can just have it, you can do batch processing. And then, fields of display, and then you can build your email notification. So, gift card is being processed, this kind of stuff. And then you build out your body and, all these things. And then you can have notifications and alerts. So you can have a notification saying that you're, low balance, you don't have a lot of, cards, these kinds of things. There's all these options that you can set up depending on how you want to do this. So let me go ahead and click cancel since these are all set up. And I think I added another card. So, I put $50 here. So let me change that to 25 because it's not going to fire because I have a filter on the amount. So I have two cards in here. One card has already been used, but let me make sure that this is set to available. So, and this is the thing, if you go through and you build all your cards out like this, you want to make sure they're not ready, because when you go to set up your project, and if you're testing your project, that kind of thing, you're automatically going to assign cards when you're testing. Like if I check the box and say they're eligible for reward, it's going to automatically assign a card. And I don't want to do that until I'm ready. And you could put dummy cards in here too. But now that I want to show you guys how this works, I'm going to click ready for this one. And we'll just save. And we'll go back to the demo here. And I'm just going to add a new record. And so like, this top part, if, they filled out the survey and everybody's fine. And then I'm looking through here and I say, yep, eligible for reward. And let me say I made this an Amazon card. So I'll just say Amazon. And now if I save and stay, it should automatically update duplicate email. Okay, so here's another thing. This prevents somebody from just spamming your project, right? So I've already entered this email address for the first card. So I've already claimed an Amazon card. Now I'm going through and I'm doing it again. And it's telling me that there's a duplicate email here. So this is a nice little safeguard to keep somebody from just hooking into your project and just blowing through your gift cards or sending out project, emails and this kind of stuff. So let me do my Gmail. All right. So here's the thing. So this now gives me the reward ID of 2 because that's the card for here. And now this says reserved. So if I go back to my gift card demo or the library and I refresh this, now you can see here that this says reserved. It's being held. This fills in the information. So this is the project that it was used. So basically the gift card has been held. And this is the project that it's being assigned to. This is the hash for that, the reward name. So this would be like, this you could have baseline complete or something like that, or baseline gift card. And then you get a URL for the gift card. And let me go to my Gmail on my other screen here. And all right. So if I click on the link, let me just open it in a new window. So this is the link. So if you were to put this in an email, so let's say you had a notification, you had notifications set up that way. This is the link you would send. So when it would send out to the person, that's the link that they would have. And now it's just saying that here's your gift card, $25 gift card. Here's your gift card number, and here's your gift card code. Now, once you've used this, once this URL has been visited, it triggers the library here to say that this card has been claimed. So if I refresh this, now it's moved to claimed, and it shows that this is when it was claimed. So if somebody is in your project or some user or some participant says, hey, I never received my gift card, you could go into the gift card library and look and see that they've actually clicked on a link. And it might be something to where, you maybe just send them the link again, or, this is the kind of thing where you won't really be able to see if those funds have been dispersed from the gift card. All you can see is that they viewed this link that had the gift card information. So, it's up to, instead of you sending out another gift card to them, you would just say, here's your gift card. And whether they use it or not, then it's kind of up to them. And then here's an example of the gift card summary that pops up that you'll get. You could have it. I think it pops. I've been getting them every day since I've had this. So this just shows you, like, these are all your gift cards. And, right now I just have, this was from this morning, so it was yesterday's summary. So I had one gift card that was awarded and one gift card that was claimed. And so you could keep track of this. You could have this sent out to whoever's managing your gift cards. It lets them know that if, you're running low, this kind of thing. So there's a lot of features to it, and I haven't gone through all of these because I didn't want to, this is overwhelming enough as it is, because just getting all this stuff set up and working, there's so many other things that you can do to this, with your emails and notification settings and processing and all that stuff. You can even do cron job processing and all sorts of stuff. So this is the bare bones, if you will, of this module. Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Manny. Super quick. And I know you said this is really bare bones, but I'm trying to kind of conceptualize the use of this. So if I had like a database that was just surveys and we wanted to shoot out gift cards to people who completed the survey, this basically would be like a perfect use case for this, right?
Yeah. So you would just set it up to where you would have all your gift cards in this library, and then whenever and you would just set up the branching logic here. So this one here. Yeah. So, because the way I have this set up is the idea is that somebody's going to fill out the information, it's going to come back to me, and I'm going to be the one saying I'm going to look through the data that they've sent me and say, this is a legitimate person who has filled out this in good faith. I'm going to give them a gift card, as opposed to somebody spamming my survey and just,
Right.
and so you would just have to set the branching logic for that. And then you would set up the notification. And I didn't do that here because you can automatically, I believe, set up your, because it should be able to send an email directly to the person. So I looked at my Gmail here and I didn't get an email. I just have the URL link. So I don't have that set up in this demo.
That would be like an extra step, right? You would set up the alert for that.
Yeah, and then it would basically put in this URL for that person, because this is what goes in, your notification would have this URL, and then they would click it, and then whenever they click this URL, it would take them to this page that shows them that this is your gift card reward. And then that's what triggers the viewed claimed status update. So you would just have to build a notification to, and I think maybe this is where the email address comes in. So if I left that blank, it might update with this email address. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
then you get all the information from the project, and then you get the reward record, and then you would get this person's email address. And then I believe you would set up the notifications in the gift card library to send out the notification with this URL.
Oh, the email window I had in the notifications kind of pop up for the library pop up, like when you're setting everything up.
Yeah, because this, I believe, is so, because if I fill this out as a survey user, I would put my email address here, and then it should automatically populate one of these email. So like the reward email address down here.
Yeah.
And let me see if it'll update here. Yeah. So when you put the email address down here, email from a reward email address, and this could be, so like I had this as an email address here, you might want to put this as your reward email address. You could do that in the configuration instead of having a separate field, or I think it just pulls that value in. But then basically what this does is it grabs this and puts it over here. And then you would just build out your notification like you would do a normal notification, and it would send it out to this email, and it would have this link for them to click to open up this to trigger the claimed status update.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, and I suggest if you're going to test this, maybe have a couple of different email addresses. Like mine, I'm just using my U of A and my Gmail, but you might want to try something different just so you can see where things are being populated from and sent to, so that way you can kind of get an idea of the workflow. Because like for me here, if it comes from if it goes to my email, I'm not sure if it's being triggered here or if it's being triggered here.
Right.
And so yeah, it would just be get your workflow, get your notification set up, and then see how it goes. You also don't have to have a gift card brand. I just put this in as a drop or as radio buttons, but you could just have it as a text field, or you can leave it blank, because in the options here, when you do the brand, you can leave it blank. These are all optional. And then same thing here, if you left the $25 blank, like if, for example, if all of your gift cards are $25, you would put the $25 in here. You just wouldn't have to specify it in here because they're all 25. You only have to specify this if you want it to ignore some gift cards and go to the next one. Same thing here with the brand. Like if you had a pool of different brands and different values, you would want to specify those, but you don't have to if they're all the same.
So if you have like multiple of these for like a longitudinal, then you would maybe specify that stuff.
Well, you could still leave it blank if they're all the same, but like if you had baseline, it was $25 and 6 month it was 50, then yeah, you would want to specify 25 and 50. But if they were like, if everybody got $25 every time they came in to visit, you would build the visits out like this,
Yeah,
but you could leave the $25 blank because it doesn't matter. They're all
the same.
25. Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
That's awesome.
And I would recommend anybody messing with this. Let me put this in the chat. Because this was the big thing, is getting it getting the gift card, because I tried to build the gift card library just from the image, and I was having such a hard time getting it to fire. And once I put this built it based off of this CSV, everything just fell into place. And so if you guys are going to mess with this, I would recommend starting there. And it's the gift card library CSV, because once that was in place, everything else just was so much easier. I didn't have to set up any of the triggers for this. I didn't have to set up the hash or all of this stuff is automatically built in and taken care of. So I would start there, and that would save you a huge amount of work.